It's spooky season. Please subscribe. Hello and welcome to Resin Crafting with Chris Collected. Today's episode is, wait, what is that? Is that a tray? Oh, I'm risking tray madness for everyone today. And so I wanted to get a few other cool little pieces. Of course, we have our ghost, our tic-tac-toe board, a little poison mushroom, and a cloud. I'm going to be making some Jack Skellington tic-tac-toe. This is purple interference. And some glitter. And some more glitter. And some mica powder. This is called mink. We will be using the Resiners 2-part epoxy resin. I will be doing 100 into the left one and 50 into the right. As you can see, I found one of the caps. I cannot find the other cap. I must have thrown it away, or it's just like in a corner somewhere. So one of these is easy to pour and the other one's a little hard. Now let's spin them up. The machine's doing pretty good, but I decided I was actually going to add all my bits in right now, spin them up, and then put it into machine. So we got our first glitter, our first interference color, some glitter, some Pearl X mink powder. It's a nice red color. Some resin dye violet. I'm going to put that into the smaller container. And then spin it up again. And that way, when I put it into the airless machine now, it actually got all the bubbles out and I don't have to do any more work to it. Now I can just go straight to pouring. I gave it a little smack and there you go. Now it's all ready. First up is the resin tray. The demolding is included. However, this is the only piece that won't be demolded because I was a little shy and didn't pour it 100%. And so the next video, I will continue pouring that resin tray. Next up, I went for a 50-50 pour into this rainbow business card holder. Funny thing you can see in the demolding, I poured this backwards. I meant for the, the two colors to be switched. Because there's a happy face and a sad face, and I ended up doing the happy face in dark colors and the sad face in light colors. But it still looks good. This is the smallest tic-tac-toe board that I have. And I decided to make a few up, and I might give them away as like little presents or something. I decided to do all the X's and O's in purple. Next up, let's make a poison mushroom. So the base will be purple, and then the mushroom top will all be dark red. Next up, we have the ghost, and I'm happy to announce I finally put some rubbing alcohol into it, and that way it will really help with the bubbles. And I can finally report I have a perfect set of ghosts. And you'll see why in the demolding, why it was so tough to get it perfect. Now let's get a little silicone tool and pop any bubbles that are in there. What I'm doing right now is moving the resin around and letting it fill into that cavity. Now let's pour the rest. I decided to add a little bit of the red into one of them. Next up, I was thinking the tic-tac-toe needed a little bit extra special, and so I decided to add some Jack Skellington clay pieces right into it. I was going to put it in anything else, and I said, no, I'll just put it just in these. And then I had to poke them in, and I tried to make them so there was no overlap, and it looked like it was a nice even spread. It takes a little bit of extra time, but it's definitely worth it for the end result. Each one of the X's also gets one little Jack Skellington head. I'm so glad all these turned out really, really good. I'm getting pretty good at it. So, my name is Chris Collected. I do rug tufting, resin crafting, and sewing. Stay tuned for the demolding. Oh, why, what are those? Those are Patreon exclusives. But I decided to add in one little piece that you didn't see me pour today. So I'm really loving this mold, and I just wanted to show it off. This was just made with extra resin. But I do think it looks so cool. Next up is the poison mushroom. As you can see there, the mica powder, which is the red part up top, is much more opaque, whereas the pigment is much more see-through. This one's always very satisfying to demold. It's like a lot of complicated little corners, but it's all rounded at the same time. Yeah, so as you can see here, the one on the left, it has the dark on it, and the one on the right doesn't. But it's purple in the dark. I got it backwards. I thought about it, I was pouring it, and then I realized, I was like, oh, when I demolded, I was like, oh, of course, because it's backwards. It's like, I just wasn't thinking. I'll pour another one, though. Now, this one is my favorite piece, and probably in the top 5 pieces I've ever made. It just looks perfect. And these little pieces came out so good too. Because I put glitter into everything and I had interference in it, it just looks so good. And yes, I will definitely be making another set of these X's and O's so that it will be a full set. You can see all the glitter and everything, it just looks perfect. This is the first one that we had mixed. As you can see, I didn't actually really mix it very well, so it's just kind of a chunk of purple in the middle. These are looking amazing. I'm really loving that purple dot. These are our last two. Let's see them. You ready for it? Is it perfect? It is. All right. So the one on the right is the one that I've been messing up every single time. As you can see, it goes to a point, which is why it was so easy to do it wrong every single time, but I finally got it right. And as you can see here, this last one, we ended up not demolding it because I just didn't pour it all the way. I think what it is this black tray that I'm using is not 100% level, so I'm gonna use a new one in a future video. Make sure to stay tuned for the photos, and see you on the next one. And remember to trust in yourself, honor yourself and others, and create a world that is safer for everyone. My name is Chris Collected. I'm on my way to 500 subscribers. And beware of horror season. Please subscribe.